Hey everybody, I'm Carolyn from Tranquil Mentor, and today we're going to be making this laser cut Halloween luminary on my diode laser in the Lightburn software program. Here's our completed luminary in Lightburn, and I'm going to show you how we made this design. And right now we have it in a certain format. It came in from a box making program called Cuttle, and it came in differently, but I moved it around. So here you're going to go into your browser and we're going to type in cuttle.xyz. And here is the website, and you'll see that I have a box that I already made in there, and it's labeled as private, and I made a little box just so that I could practice and get the idea of my material. And what we're going to be doing, we're not going to log in or make an account right now, but we're going to go into templates. And when we get into the templates area, we're going to scroll down, and here are the laser cut box templates. And you'll see there's a sliding top, a hinged top, a closed top, and then what we're going to be working with is the open box with finger joints. And all these in this row have the finger joints, and that's what's going to be a little bit different about this luminary. And here, when we put the box in and we select the box, it's going to bring up a pattern here, and everything's labeled front, left, back, right. Okay, and then I'm just showing you, again, we're going to just go back in really quick, and I'm going to look at measurements here, just getting an idea of how big I need to make this box here. All right, and then up top here, you'll see an area where you will put in width, and I have mine in inches because that's what I'm used to working with. And I'm going to make this about 3.5 in the width and the depth in inches, because I have a candle that I want to put in, and it's, one of the artificial candles. So I don't want to put a real one in around the wood. So we're going to put a fake one in. And the height is going to be taller, about a little bit over 7 inches or so. And then here's my material thickness, and it's 0.09 inches, and it's about 2.3 in centimeters, so very thin. And right now we're in the area of kerf. Kerf helps you get the little finger joints to stay together. I have a video from Keep Calm and Craft on how to calculate kerf for your project. It's a very good video, and you will learn a lot from it. Now here, what we're doing is just moving the tab width around, and I wanted to make sure on the bottom that I had about 2 tabs on each side, so I'm just going to fluctuate that. And then I just took off the show labels because I didn't want them to etch into my project. Now we're going to download this software. It's going to go into our downloads. And we just click this button right here, download SVG, and I've imported it into Lightburn. And this is how it comes in. We won't necessarily be using it this way because my material is 12 by 12, so I will be moving it around later. So what I wanted to show you, just by the way it is, how to put the openings in. So on Creative Fabrica, I did a search and I found a spider web here. It's a half spider web. So I'm in Inkscape now, which is what I drop my stuff into. And I'm going to copy this SVG and paste it right into Lightburn. I know there's other ways to do this, but this is just what I know so far. And I'm not an expert on this. I'm very new to it still. But this is the way that I found that it would work for me. And I'm sure later down the road, I will learn a lot more. And now I'm using these squares to guide how I'm going to put this rectangle in. And over on the left, you see that red rectangle in the tool area. That is how I'm drawing, what I'm using to draw my rectangle. And I'm going to get the rectangle to where I want, and I'm going to move it around a little bit. And you can certainly put your dimensions in, but for the sake of the video, and I'm just showing how I did the previous file, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. There is an align tool, so you could get it all aligned perfectly the way that you want it. I'm just looking in these squares right now in my guide, and I'm using that. And we're going to take this web here, and I am going to select it, and let's see, we'll go from right over to left, and then okay, so it's all selected. We've got that moved over. I'm getting it out of the way. I'm selecting everything because what I've learned is that these boxes come in grouped, and I don't need them to be grouped right now. So I'm double checking here to see if everything ungrouped, and it did not. And if you could see the marching ants down below, that means it's still grouped, just that part. So I'm just gonna hit ungroup again, and then I'm gonna come up in here and I'm just gonna double check that everything is in fact ungrouped. And we'll click right here. I'm using that select tool that's up in the left hand side. You see it's highlighted, it's just an arrow, and everything is ungrouped. So I'm going to go back. I got my spider web here, and I'm going to drag it in. And what my goal is here is I want it to connect on the left and right sides. I want enough connection to where that spider web's not going to cut out and fall through. So I will connect it on both sides, and I'm just moving it around here to get it to where I like it, and everybody's different in what they like. So I'm just moving it, and you don't want anything to overlap into the finger joints so that you would cut there. And even though we're going to put this in, we're going to unite it. Even though we're going to do that, we want to make sure that it's not too far over. And I'm selecting, you see the marching ants. I selected both the rectangle and the web. And I'm going to come over here, and this is we're going to unite. Okay, and then there we have it. We've got our web all set, and that will cut through, and you'll have all through the web, you'll see the lighting there. Okay, so now we're going to go into, I'm going to show you how I did the ghosts, because there's going to be two. So we'll go into, this is Creative Fabrica again, and I grabbed this image and I put it in Inkscape, and I'm just going to copy and paste it right into Lightburn, and then I'm going to resize it, and I'll drag it over, and we'll just make sure that we get him in, and you'll see his little tail is touching, but it's not completely over. And then we're going to give him some contact over here on the top and the right. I just duplicated that by hitting Control Copy, and there is a duplicate part of the program too where you can hit D. And I moved him back over, and I'm lining him up here so that they both touch, and then I'm going to select them, and then we're going to go into the Boolean tube, and we're Boolean tool, and we're going to unite them. And if you can see, they're joined, so it's easier for the cutout to have less on the laser and then more contact. So what we'll do is, I just wanted to show you again and zoom in a little bit better on that and give you an idea of what that's going to look like here. Okay, so you could see the two. Again, we just zoomed in. Okay, and I'm just going to try to get you just a better view here so that you can see how the other objects are. You know, you can see where the holes are going to be, where the openings are going to be, and where your object is going to be. And then I did that with pumpkins and bats. I joined everything together, and I did two at a time. And then with the witch, I joined her with a moon, and she could have stood without it. And here we are in my laser, and we're just going to get all of those shapes cut out. And that is a 12 by 12 basswood sheet that I did get from Temu. And from here, what we'll have is this images all cut out. That's what they look like on the honeycomb. And I, pull them out, and all the pieces just stayed on the honeycomb. And then here is what they look like cut out, just single sheets. And then there's the bats and the pumpkins and the ghosts and the web. And here is the witch with the moon, and I just can't believe the detail with her. I had to clean the back too with some baby wipes, but you can do it with denatured alcohol. But look at her boots. I mean, her shoes, they just came out so detailed. And here I'm demonstrating that I was able to achieve curve, the proper curve, and just punching those in there just to show you that they fit. And we will be able to do a friction fit here. I'm not going to glue them because when I store my Halloween items, I like to lay everything as flat as I can. Some things you can't, but I want to be able to do that with these luminaries. And there you have it. I just think they look awesome. And I'm going to paint them with pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. This is just such a pretty color. And I've got a roller here, and I'm just going to use a roller and a couple of plates. And if you paint with a brush, sometimes it just gets over the edge. Now the roller I have does have white paint that did dry on it. And I do have an order from Temu coming in with more rollers because I did mess this up by letting it dry one time. So I'm going to put a little bit more paint on here. Whoa, that was way too much. Okay. So now we're going to have a little bit of a problem here trying to get this kind of all on the roller. And if the roller didn't have dried up white paint on it, it probably would have absorbed a little better. But you know, you work with what you have and you wait for your order to come in. And then I take this second plate and I really start pulling off the paint here because I don't want anything to be, you know, over the edge or anything like that. I want to keep the edges brown. So, or, you know, with the burnt laser type look. So as you can see here, there is a little bit too much paint still on the roller. I would have liked it to be a lot thinner. So, but I think the roller is a good strategy for something like this. And then what we'll just do is I'll go through and I'll paint all these up and get them all set and dried. And I'm going to take my roller and put it in this bag. It will be ready and it'll stay wet in this bag for my second coat if I decide to do a second coat on it. So instead of cleaning all that out and, you know, wasting all that paint, I have the paint in the bag. And then I can even clean the bag out later if I want to. All right, and here I decided I'm not going to go through a second coat. I like the way that it came out. And I'm just lining these up. And I'll show you right here that, you know, they're going to get put in, sort of the joints will be put, how do I say, connected. That's what I'm trying to say. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these together. We're going to press them together. And this is very therapeutic. You need to have your patience and have one of those moments where you actually take it slow and enjoy every step of the way. And you take it a little at a time and you just sort of pinch it together and it will get in there. It's just a matter of, you don't want to press too hard. This wood is very thin. And you want to make sure you have that fit and light won't be shining through it and it won't fall apart. But you can certainly glue it. And then I'm just showing you that there's a little part there and I'm still pressing on that. But very, very therapeutic and very rewarding at this part because you get to assemble and put together your work. So it's just really, really a lot of fun. And I'm moving it in and out, trying to get a 90-degree angle, but you do have to be very careful because it's very, very thin wood. You can do it with thicker wood, like an 1/8 of an inch too, if you want to. But this is what I had, and I decided to make a go of it, and it's doing pretty good. And then I get the one side done, and I put it off to the side, and then I get my other side done. And it went a lot better to have two of those. And you can put the bottom on any time, actually, if you want to put them together. It may be easier to put the bottom on last, but I was excited about how it was going to look, so I was piecing that together. But the bottom can be reinforced a little bit later too. But I'm really enjoying how this is coming together. And the piecing part is going very well. And now that I have the two sides, it's a lot easier to gently press into these sides here, just ever so gently. And then you'll get the bottom on, and here we have it, just absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited about it. I've always wanted a luminary and to be able to make my own design and put in what I want. And even, you know, a black one would be really nice too. And I have a pen here, a Sharpie oil-based pen, and it's one of those gravity type fed paints, so I'm just dabbing it and trying to get the paint through. This is the first time I'm using it, so I'm testing it out here before I use it on my project. And I'm taking these little areas because of the extra paint on the roller. I did go over a little bit, but not bad at all. It's a great strategy, and I did nick that a little bit, but I don't care. But if it bothers you, you can always cover it up with some paint. And here we go. I've got the candle in it, and I just love the way the candle looks in it. And I'll take you a little, show you around that how the spider web came out. And this is in the daylight, so it still to me looks good in the daylight. Sometimes luminaries they just don't look great in the day, but this one looks really nice. And then there's the pumpkin and the bats, and it's kind of a scary but happy pumpkin, and I like that better. And then here's my ghosts. They're very cute. They're not spooky. And I like the way that they are linked together. I think they just look like fun. And here's the front back again. And now I've shut off the lights, and you can see how the candle just illuminates everything. And if you didn't like the candle in there, you can always do a vellum or some kind, type of, Dollar Tree has that plastic that you can put in. It's like the cutting sheets. And you can put that in and glue it in if you wanted to, if you wanted it covered more. But I do like it with the candle like this. It's really neat. So I'm very excited with how that came out. And then I have a Dollar Tree candle. I just wanted to show a different view of it. Not everybody has a light up candle hanging around. I just happen to have one. And I do like the Dollar Tree. And here's Dollar Tree fairy lights with the tea light. So very good option to be able to put in. And I just seem to always have an abundance of tea lights. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. We appreciate all your likes and comments. It really helps YouTube to notice us a little bit more. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're a regular here, welcome back. If you like what you saw here today, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing so we can keep making videos like this one. And as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.